changed anything. What the hell?
It's,
Try closing some applications.
I can
Okay.
hear you.
I can hear you. Can you guys hear us? Oh, we can't go on meeting like this. Yeah, thanks.
Can they not hear me?
Um, okay. Blake TV says we have sound. Can you hear Trisha too as well? Talk, Trisha.
Hi.
Can you hear Trisha? I didn't have my microphone plugged in.
Mm.
Okay, good audio now, Kevin says.
Can you hear me?
Valhalla says, sounds great. We have sound. Yay! I just needed to plug in my damn freaking microphone. It's my fault. I am not this by trade. Okay, let's start all over. Let's introduce yourself and talk about your relationship to the government or the meetings you've been attending and all that in New
Okay.
Zealand. Trisha's from New
Okay.
Zealand, where and she's close to where my daughter lives in New Zealand, so it's pretty freaking cool. Kevin Hester, he was a guest of mine last week. He is also in New Zealand. You've probably seen that. Anyway,
Yeah.
so
Hi guys, can you hear me?
yes, there's no video for Trish. I'm sorry you missed that part. She's dipping her feet into the water slowly because has a little bit of anxiety about this. So she's going to start with audio only, and then eventually she'll go to video when she gets a
Can they
little bit
hear
more
me,
comfortable.
Chris?
I'm sorry.
Can they hear me?
I think so. Okay. Thank you, Shiva. Oh, I love Shiva. She's so sweet. Okay. Yes, I think they can hear you.
Okay,
Yes,
so
yes, yes. They can hear you.
so last week I went to our meeting in Dunedin, which is just south of here, where Chris is doing it. And with various interested people who wanted to meet with government ministers.
Okay, get closer to the microphone because I can't hear you now.
The first, can you hear me now?
Yes, that's much better.
The first question someone asked them was, what are they going to do about climate change, right?
Nice. Good question.
But and that was the Minister of Finance. They asked that question too. But kind of
Okay, we're losing you again. Come,
I
quit
just
moving
thought
away
it
from
was.
the microphone. No one can see you, so you can
I'll,
stay close.
I'll have to get a microphone. I just thought it was really interesting that the very first question was, what are they going to do about climate change?
Okay, you're fading
Of a
again.
whole lot of other things as well.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, so they didn't really give anything.
Okay, you keep disappearing.
But okay, yeah. Anyway,
You sound beautiful when we can hear you. So stay really close to the microphone.
perhaps I should just stop moving around.
Yes, I know it's hard when
Yeah,
you're nervous. I have the same problem. I move around a lot
yeah.
when I'm nervous. So,
Well, it's a growing issue now. I think the Kiwis are aware of it, and we have dialogues in the case we've got coastal erosion at the moment.
okay, no one can I can't hear you.
Damn.
I
Look,
know. I'm
I'll have to get a microphone, I think, and
just stay
the next
close.
time.
If you can just stay
Yeah.
close and speak really loudly, I think the microphone will stay on you and yeah.
Okay. Is that better?
That's much better right there. Yes.
I've just discovered where it is.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, I think a lot of people here just aware of climate
Okay,
change.
now I can't hear you again. Did you move?
No.
Okay, now I can hear you. I'm trying to pin it so it will just pay attention to
Yeah.
you, but I don't know how to do that. Um,
Definitely need to get a microphone, I think.
yes.
Yeah.
Let's see. Damn it. I know there's a way to pin it. I'm sorry, guys. We are doing our best. None of us are tech experts, so we will figure this out. The information is more important than anything else that happens on here. And we have a great guest from New Zealand who has information from meetings with the Prime Minister and the government. I really want this information to be heard. I just don't know how to make her the main speaker and have it not focus on me. I'm gonna, maybe if I make you the host, maybe it will do that.
Maybe.
Okay, maybe it'll stay on you now. Okay, I don't know. Try.
Maybe I'll just come back next week with a microphone.
I really want to hear what's going on, though. I really, really do.
It's more about what's actually happening.
Okay, my microphone needs to be turned down a bit, according to Osama. Yeah, we're all Torstein. We're all learning this stuff. When we learn it, Google changed their stuff. Okay, I guess Val says he hears you. I'm not hearing you.
Okay.
So, okay, yeah, they can hear you fine. So keep going, even though I can't hear you.
Okay. Right. So what I was saying was that people here are becoming increasingly aware of climate change. I think around to
I can't hear anything.
is it climate
Okay, there.
change? Okay.
I can barely hear you. Okay, I can hear you so much better now. I've just plugged my earphones in, and now I can hear you much better. Before I didn't the sound would just come out my desktop. It's probably something Windows 10 did with an update. I don't know. But I can hear you fine now. As long as everyone else can hear you, that's the most. Okay, now we can't hear either. What? Oh my god! Okay, I'm sorry, Trisha. I really wanted to know what was going on. I really do. I just hate this technical stuff. It gets in the way of all the information. It's so annoying. Oh my gosh. Oh, hi, Karen Peterson. Okay, I will let you out of this drudgery. Since I love you guys all too. I'm very sorry. Ah, ah. Okay, this has turned into a nightmare. But I'm so sorry, Trisha. I really am. I don't know what to do. I wish I had a tech guy here with me to help me out with this. But I guess we will try this again. Okay, maybe you can try to jump in on Monday Madness. Maybe I can get some help with it. I can hear you fine now. No one else can hear us? Okay, Osama's saying it's. Wait, no, he says, good God. You can hear. Hierophant can hear me. Um, yeah. I don't know what to do. Okay. Uh, so I'm so sorry. You have no idea how much I want to hear what you have to say. So yes, maybe we should try a private one and just do a recording, and then if that works, we'll post it and do an event with it, and then you can be in the chat. Let's try that sometime next week. You have my email, so we'll be in touch and we'll try that to start out with. Um, I'm gonna try another form of live streaming besides OBS. I've got some suggestions. I just haven't had time to look into it, so I'll be doing that anyway. Hopefully, I'll see you in the chat, and I'm just gonna, I guess, talk to myself for a little bit. So, oh, I do too. No problem. Absolutely. All right. Thanks, Trisha. You have a good one. All right. Ciao. Bye. Okay, guys. I don't even know what to say. It's such a frustrating thing. God, I hate technology so bad. I know you can't hear. You changed the audio so it's in your headphones. Well, I did, but no one could. I tried it both ways, and neither way worked. Audio in my headphones, and I didn't change like the settings. I just plugged my audio headphones into the computer. I don't know. This stuff is ridiculous. Oh my God. You have to have like a PhD in computer science to do this crap. So it's in your head. You change the audio so it's in your headphone. Yeah, when I plugged it in, um, private and fix sound in post. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I think we're going to do a private one and we'll record it and see if it works, and then we'll post it and do one of those premiere events or something, because I think she has some very valuable information to share with us. So, I don't know. And I don't know what happened um to Maggie. I have no idea. So I feel terrible. But anyway, on with the we'll figure that out later. Tomorrow morning, not morning. It will be 1 p.m. Mountain Time. I'm going to have Kevin from Black Bear News on, and we're going to have a chat. And at this point, I don't know if I'm going to freaking record it, or I got to figure out these problems before I have him on, for fuck's sake. Oh my God, how embarrassing. He has agreed to come on with me. We agree on so many issues lately, and mostly like rewilding and preserving nature as much as possible, things like that. So I really want to get him on here, and so he's going to talk with me tomorrow, 1 p.m. Mountain, and then Hierophant. Thank you, Hierophant. That was a really, really funny conversation. I can't wait till you do the video on that back and forth with that dude. Wow. Yeah. A crazy denier on your channel. Oh, shoot. I deleted my political channels except for the Natural Progressive. Oh, Environmental Coffee House and Maggie May. Not paying attention to politics anymore. I know for which to vote. Oh, Shiva. Okay. Lots of love to Shiva. She's going through a rough time right now, so give her lots of hugs. She needs it from this community. And she's one of my favorite people in the chat. I don't know if y'all know that, but she's one of my very favorite people in the chat. So make sure you show her lots of love. Let's see. So it will be live. No, don't feel terrible. Learning curve for me too. Yeah, we all have this learning curve. It sucks. Yes, Maggie needs more subs. Hierophant needs more subs. He is very entertaining. I'm sorry. Especially his last video was hilarious. Oh my God. His battle with the denier was so much fun. I was laughing hysterically, and we all need a good laugh right now. And that was a great one. Let's see. George, I went to Guitar Center today to see how to amp my mic in real time. Nice. Learning curve is my middle name. Torstein. I think it's my first, middle, and last name. Just saying. I don't know what she was going to say. All I know is she talked to the Prime Minister, or she was in a meeting with the Prime Minister of New Zealand and other officials, and something about climate change. That's all I know. I was just really excited to bring that to you firsthand from her and react to it with you guys. That's what I really wanted to do. So, Scott Murto, chill, Chris, don't stress. It'll be wonderful, and we'll have fun. Well, we will have fun. How is enough? I know we'll have fun as long as I get the sound working. Oh my God, it was working fine on Monday. How do you not change anything, have it work fine one day, and then not work 2 days later? What happened in between? Because I didn't do anything in between. I did nothing, and it's not working. Tell me why. That's a song. I'm going to start bursting into a country music song. Tell me why. Let's see, Jeffrey Peterson, I like technology, but technology does not like me. Technology don't like me either. It hates me. Michael Cooper, hello. You're welcome, Hierophant. That was, there's nothing to thank me for. I'm genuinely just entertained by your last video, and then the interaction in the comments after was just so much fun. Just, oh my God. It was so much fun. You guys would love it. Hi Zox, let's play the guessing game. Amp your mic or your amp. Wait, Osama, if you're an expert, Osama, you should be on here helping me, for crying out loud. That's why I sub B Live and Ecamm. Yeah, I wish I could do Ecamm. I'm not sure what B Live is. I have no idea. Oh my God, I'm gonna move this over here so I can read it. Maybe your dog was arguing on a forum. Okay, I'm not gonna stress over it anymore. What do you guys want to talk about? Okay, in public consultation forum, this is Trisha, with government ministers, but really wanted to talk about climate impact down here. We'll do in the future. Never done podcasts before. So she's brand new to this, and we all have our like stressing moments getting used to being, kind of in public out there. It's kind of scary. New Zealand is arresting Kim.com. New Zealand is building a super bunker for its citizens. Wow, Zox, I didn't know that. Um, Scott, oops, wrong emo. uh, okay. Trying hard to keep track of all your comments. They're going so fast. Let me guess. Cheap Behringer mixer. It's for Facebook. New Zealand is converting to Lord of the Rings economy. I dated a staunch Republican for the last 6 weeks and survived. Oh my God, I'm surprised you lasted 6 weeks. Oh my God. Wow, I've broken lots of people in. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know. I have too, but it's still it's hard every time, especially if you're anxious and things don't go right. Osama number 5, not quite, because I'm using a podcast mic, not a mic. Um, let's see. I'm guessing what tonight was going to be out. I don't know. I don't know. Is there? Hey, let's just test this. Val, will you, just out of curiosity, will you? Let me get the URL up. Will you maybe? What the hell did it? Oh my God! Why can't I get the freaking? Will you please jump on and test this for me and see if it's me or what? Or because it worked with you last on Monday. So if you could try to jump on, that would be fantastic. Okay, I move this back over there. Val, will you do that for me, please? Please. Okay. You know what I'm asking. Just jump on and see if it's the sound, if something I did change between when we talked last or not. I don't know. Val on Women's Wednesday. Yeah, make sure you wear your wig. Val, gotta wear your wig. I know. Definitely me. Thanks, Kent. It's definitely me. I didn't change anything. I promise. I changed nothing. I don't. New Zealand has opened its doors to the rich. Send us your huddled billionaires so that we might make them bunkers. Zox, are you in New Zealand as well? Negative interest rates imminent. I think I need separate mic, maybe computer, one not strong enough. Val is a woman. He has a strong woman's side, a strong feminine side, and we should not give him hell for this because that's a very good thing. I think. Val is Joe. Oh, hi, Jilly. Hello, Jilly. Oh my God, Jilly. Jilly. My very first harvest ever. I'm so proud of it. It may not be as big as artificial lighting and stuff, but... Okay, can you guys hear Val?
Hello, darling. How are you, darling?
I'm fabulous. How are you? Except for I hear an echo. My very first harvest ever. I'm so proud of it. It may not be as big as artificial lighting.
You got a real lady in.
Okay, right? Can you guys hear Val? You guys. There's Oz on now. Oh yay! I have technical help. I'm so thrilled. I'm fabulous. How are you? Except for I hear an echo. I still hear an echo.
Darling, just please don't talk about that Donald Trump. I just can't stand that man.
Yeah. Who wants to talk
Yeah,
about
I'll be
Donald
checking.
Trump? Okay, can you guys hear us now? Just curious. You got your feminine side
Uh-oh.
going on, both Oz and Val. You got your fem.
Oz, man. Whoa.
Hello, Oz. I can't hear Oz. Is Oz even talking? No, I can't hear Oz. He's trying to talk. I can't hear Oz. Are those female dogs? What?
I'm gay as in happy, not gay as in woman. But
Me too.
that's okay. Hey, what's up, Oz?
There may be another hurricane brewing. We're watching debasing. I don't know what the hell we're watching, actually. You're watching me crash and burn and wreck. That's what you're watching. I can't hear Oz.
Okay, good news and bad news. Which one do you want first?
Okay, your sound is very low. That's the bad news.
That's the bad news. Okay,
Donald
now
Trump
I'll
is
give you
not
the good
like
news.
down here. That's good news. Okay, there was bad news and good news. Your sound was very low, and Donald Trump is not liked in New Zealand. There's good and bad news right there.
The good news is that Trump fired Bolton.
Oh, yeah, I know. That's great.
So I got more good news too.
Okay.
But I got it.
Hurricane Val. Torstein says Hurricane Val. Watch out, Alabama. Ben Wilbur says. Julie says, I mean tomorrow. Okay, so can you all hear? So you can hear. Okay, Michael Cooper says he can hear me and no one else. Okay, do the
Okay.
testing
Mic
thing.
check. Mic check. Mic check.
Okay,
Mic
Michael says you're super quiet still. Did you ever get a new mic?
mic check. It's coming.
Okay, it's coming. Val has a new microphone coming.
Oz is working on it as rapidly as possible. This guy is how are we doing? Are we a-okay, man?
I still can't hear Val. Aw, Val's puppy. I see Val's puppy.
You mean you can't hear Val?
Now I can hear you.
Well, I know. I've been muted. I've been listening to this. See, what happens is Val, he sounds like he's talking through a toilet paper tube when I listen to him outside of the Zoom room. And in the Zoom room, he sounds fine. Chris, you sound perfect. You sounded perfect all night, other than not having your mic plugged in. So, other than that, but there's something, you're absolutely right. Your sound configuration is goofed up somehow. So, and don't worry about tomorrow. I thought I was going to produce.
I was hoping you would. It's Kevin.
Yeah.
It's Black Bear News. Come on. I was hoping.
I like Kevin. I think it'll be great interview, great discussion. So, no, I mean, in the Zoom room, you guys sound all pretty equal, but outside the Zoom room, Val's really low, and you're just dead on right.
But I can't control other people in
No,
this.
you can't. So I don't know what the deal is. So
I
sorry.
don't know. I mean, I can hear Val fine. I hear you
Yeah,
fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah, Revolving Door of DC Psychos, Jilly, you're absolutely right. Absolutely.
Oz,
Yes.
could it be OBS?
It could be OBS. There's always the adjustments in there. See, she's got two sets of adjustments, and one of them's in OBS, so that's the problem. I'm sure.
Okay, I've been suggested another Blake TV. Could you tell me the name of that place where, if you're still here, Blake TV suggested this other platform that I don't know if y'all heard of Beer Man. Okay, he like Lisa Hauserman is a great respite from the doomosphere. He does this thing like a virtual bar. It's fabulous. He does games and stuff, and yeah, it's fun. Anyway, he's a friend of my brother-in-law's, and he works with my sister-in-law in Oregon. I told you about him, Oz. But anyway, he does this other platform that I never heard of till I seen Beer Man, and I kind of want to try it, but at the same time, I'm like, trying to learn a whole new platform is scary to me. So I have to do some testing outside. I know this one, and I think it worked out great on Monday. I thought we did pretty good on Monday. I don't know.
You sounded fine on Monday to me.
I know. So what happened between Monday and today?
Gremlins,
yeah, but it could be settings in OBS.
I didn't change anything. I didn't touch it. I turned off OBS when I was done on Monday. I didn't turn it on again till today. And I didn't change any other settings in my computer.
Okay, so she's running OBS and Zoom.
Yeah.
So there's only two settings in both, and she's running the YouTube program.
Yeah.
So it's the settings in one of those.
don't you hate technical stuff?
Yeah. Now, I'm going to type this out.
I don't know how it changes when you haven't done anything. I haven't touched it. I haven't touched anything. How does it change? It's 9/11, Torstein says.
Yeah, well, Friday's going to be the 13th, so don't do anything on Friday.
Oh, no, Hierophant and me are having an interview on Friday. That's bound to go wrong. Oh, Hierophant, be ready. It's Friday the 13th.
Chris, this isn't the time, but I have been studying up on something that may be relevant to what we're doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, this isn't the time to talk about it for different reasons.
Yeah, I'm supposed to have women on, but that's okay.
I know.
You guys are just gonna put out your feminine sides, and that'll be fine.
Yes, darling. We're trying.
Oh, hi, Taps. Hi, Taps. My doggy came to see me. Get up there. Get up there. Oh, settle down. Sorry. Dog.
It's no longer
Hi, bears. Go lay down. Go.
funny for people to pretend to be gay. So.
Right, and it's no longer funny to people to pretend climate change does not exist or overpopulation does not exist. It's
Right.
way beyond funny for people to pretend that's not an issue. I agree with that 120%. Yes, I love people. I want to save people more than anybody wants to save people. I do. But how do you save everybody? And life is not fair. You can't save everybody and save the whole entire planet at the same time. What the hell do you do? It's wrong. It's not fair. And I don't think the poor people should be the ones that suffer. I think it should be the elites that suffer, not the poor people, because they didn't cause it. And I just want to make that absolutely positively clear that I'm not saying that the poor people in impoverished countries, that it's their fault that they're suffering. And that climate change is happening because they're having more babies. No, it's the wealthy people in wealthy countries that has caused the problem. I just want to be very clear about that because I get trashed about that and telling people they can't have babies. Yeah, I'm telling you, wealthy assholes who want to have babies and want to keep destroying the planet and keep buying 10 houses, 3 or 4 fucking yachts and everything else you want to do that destroys the planet. Keep investing in fossil fuels and mining and everything. Those are the people that I'm mad at. Not the everyday person, not the poor people for sure. So, okay, I'm sorry. I went on a rant. I didn't, yeah, sorry. What were you saying, Val?
The reason why the climate change deniers
Quit.
may be denying is it may have to do with evolution and fitness cues in evolution. Okay? That
yes, socks. The elite have had it too good for too long. Yes.
That people are attuned to certain evolutionary. Now I know this is that's why I didn't want to bring it up tonight because there's no background and so it's not making much sense. But there is something to this. Like, let's say, take your husband there. Okay, are you having any luck with him?
A little, bit by bit, inching him.
Okay, and the
Yeah.
reason, my suspicion is, that evolutionary, he's not attuned to the climate as a fitness payoff. Okay.
Well, he's pretty attached to nature, so I think that helps my case with him. He's super
Okay.
attached to nature,
It's probably
but he's
a
also
bad
attached
idea.
to his religion upbringing. Like he was raised in a, really strict religion
Uh-huh.
family,
Okay.
religious family.
Yeah,
So,
probably a bad idea for me to bring that up, and so I'm going to kind of drop it here because without context, it's just not making much sense.
okay.
Okay, but I'll also say this: I left a comment on Sandy's video about having compassion for climate change deniers. That it's so easy to get angry at them. Okay, get mad and want to, I punch them. Okay. I don't
Oh,
know if
yeah.
you ever feel that way, Chris.
Oh yeah, I felt that way today on Hierophant's channel. But okay, I just got to read this comment really, 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 really,
Okay.
really quick. Hierophant was saying that they don't count the bodies that washed out to sea for the Bahamas, so the death toll that they're reporting is way lower than they're reporting. It's not like 40 deaths. It's more like 40,000 estimated by Paul Beckwith, who I respect, because that they're not counting the missing. They're only counting the ones confirmed dead, and that's just the beginning. That's the tip of the iceberg of what's going to happen. But anyway, go ahead. Sorry, I just like to bring in the comments. You know how I am.
The last time that something like this happened was the Boxer Day tsunami in the Indian Ocean that killed 250,000. And it's such a large figure, it's hard to get your mind around. You're talking 40,000 in the Bahamas. And, and the only person who was talking about that was Professor Beckwith.
Yes, Paul Beckwith. Yes.
That 40,000 people is a lot of people.
It's a ton.
And he said that they're swept out to the ocean. So are they doing any search and rescue?
No, of course they're not. They're never going to find them. And there's too many. It's too big. And what's going to happen? Every disaster we have, it's going to be like that. It's going to be worse and worse.
There could have been some survivors,
Well, there could have been, yeah.
People hanging on, trees or
Yeah.
rubble.
Anything that's floating out in the ocean, yeah, there could be.
So they should have had a massive search and rescue.
Yeah, I don't know.
They just
I mean,
let these people die.
what do you think, Oz?
I think that they're just culling the herd indirectly, and they don't have a big desire to put the resources into saving those people. It's all about, what you've got and what you can sell to the public as far as compassion, money, everything. We've been propagandized since birth. We've been socially engineered by the corporate media. I mean, they were little kids on the block, but they were the only kids in the block in the beginning, and now they own virtually everything. That's why they refer to us as the 99%. That pablum, that crap that you get on this corporate-owned media, I don't know how anybody can take it seriously, and I'm sure that most people don't, because I really think that people with technology and computers these days are a little bit sharper on the ball. They do research. Just look at
Why do you
the-
think Trump won with fake news? Because we do have fake news.
Trump won because he was lying to his base. He was pushing
Yeah.
a populist message, and Hillary lost because she had nothing to offer. She was just saying, "Be afraid
Yes.
of Trump. Be afraid of Trump."
But
Trump was saying, "We're going to get better health care for you. We're going to stay out of these wars. We're going to get your jobs better." And then the anti-immigrant crap that people bought into that. So. Of course, people are desperate. They're not going to vote for business as usual like we've had for the past 3 decades. I mean, Christ, look what happened when Clinton went into office. Bill Clinton made a deal with Wall Street, Enron, and the DNC. That's how they came. They called it the Democratic Leadership Council. He made deals with Wall Street, and he deregulated everything. So everybody that loved Bill Clinton, they should really look at his record, because he's the one that started, the for-profit prison industry. He deregulated the Telecommunications Act. He did NAFTA. He pushed CAFTA, and that's all we got from Bill. Okay, so Bush comes in and he does his destructive stuff. Saddam killed my daddy, or threatened kill my daddy, so they go after him. So what happens? Obama comes in, and what does Obama do? He gives the health care, the think tank health care, that crap, that Affordable Care Act. There was only one caveat on that really helped people, was that they pulled the precondition out of it. So, and then what did Obama try and go out there? Another trade deal, TPP, to destroy labor in this country once more. So, don't get your panties in a bunch about me dissing on the Democrats, because we know how the ultra conservatives are too. They don't give a shit about anything except their money.
You already know how I feel.
Yeah, I mean, it's sickening, and I don't blame any of you guys for not following the politics, because you already know. I mean, it's the same story decade after decade after decade, except this time it's a finite thing, because we're going to fry the planet. So that's you asked for it, you got it, Chris. That's it.
I love it. I'm sorry, I do.
No, that's okay.
You already know how I feel, so you're kind of preaching to the choir there as far as the different politicians, but I really do think that part of Trump's appeal is that he goes against the media. When the media dissed on Bernie, and then and they were smearing him or not reporting on him, period, and then Trump's sitting there, fake news, and they're like, yeah, fake news. So he kind of brought a lot of people over to his side because of his fake news thing.
Of course.
And the media played right into it being fake news.
Yeah, the media is propaganda. Trump just labeled it with his icon, fake news. So, you can listen to Rachel Maddow and MSNBS all you want, but if you'll notice, they never say anything about their sponsors, the big pharmaceuticals or, fossil fuel and stuff, because they're the ones paying the light bill. They're the ones giving that $7 million a year to Maddow and Hayes and the rest of them. So that is the last place where I'd get my news. Do you think they're going to tell you anything that's going to help you fight? They should be investigating the very people that sponsored their shows, because they're the crux, and they're why we have all of our problems. So just think about that.
Oh, Sandy. She says, my cousin died today. I can't help but feel she's lucky. Out of pain in this place. Oh, my God.
Agree, Sandy.
She's right. I mean, I'm dealing with my head shit that you know about, many of you do know about. I'm going through climate grief just like the rest of us. Chris and I were talking the other day. We have the same symptoms every day, the anxiety, the depression, the stress, everything. And it's probably because we give a shit and we understand the complexity and the scope of what's happening to this damn planet. I mean, Christ, you can walk outside and remember when you were a kid, 5 years old. Oh, yeah, you had 4 seasons. Now you don't know what the hell season it is. So everything's melting. Everything's going to hell. How do we deal with this? I like your hospice gig. But what I really wanted to bring up, if you can spend a little time on it, is I'm running into this, we've got plenty of resources for population. We don't have to worry about overpopulation.
Oh, just go vegan. I mean, I love the idea of vegan. I think that will help. I'm not saying it won't. Okay, so no one get their panties in a wad when I say that's not going to do anything. Val, you know how I feel about it. I mean, we've been together enough on the show that you know that I'm all for veganism and everything, but I really honestly don't think that alone would save the planet. So we need to talk more on a broader scope. And trying to convince everybody on the planet to be vegan is about as useless or as useful as trying to convince everybody to live locally, and both are very important. So you can't just narrow it down to one thing. I mean, am I up in the night on that?
No, it's got to be all of it. I mean, okay, get everybody to quit eating meat, but keep flying your jets and having these wars. Give me a break.
And transportation is like, I think it's either the second or third largest pollution.
Yep.
cause.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter if you're vegan or eat meat or whatever, if you're still using that transportation to transport food for one, and then to transport yourselves, you're not going to solve fucking anything.
The human species has declared war on their own ecosphere. I mean, look at Fukushima. You brought that up the other night. You guys, very good timing. So what's been in the news all week? They're going to be dumping a billion tons gallons of that radioactive water into the ocean.
No choice but to put it out into the ocean to
No choice.
dilute it.
I'd put it into enemas and send them to Congress. That's what I. I mean, why did that happen? It was for profit. It was Amco over there in Japan, who are no better than any of the other ones in any of the other countries. They put those nukes right next to the ocean because of cooling and emergencies, and those are the worst places they could have those things. Because what happens? You were talking about digging underneath Chernobyl the other day. How do they dig under? Those the one in Japan. It's the ocean. It just makes it that much harder to cap that stuff.
They put an ice wall. They did
an ice wall, and
which is not a good solution. They have to keep it frozen.
Yeah, what happens to all that ice when it melts?
Well, the radiation gets out. And plus, the ice wall is radiated too.
Yeah, I mean, are you kidding me, man? Really? Come on.
Yeah. Clusterfuck.
Yeah, it is. It's a mess, and it's all for profit.
Okay, Mark Roche's 5-year moratorium on new babies. I kind of like that idea.
I agree.
I like that. Yeah.
Second the motion.
Third. Okay, pass. Slam the gavel down. Done.
I think there's all kinds of ways to mitigate the birth.
There is, but no one's willing to do with them.
No, they're not. And you know what? I don't want to get into a Fahrenheit 451 or what was that other one? That other, Val, you're the big movie guy. What was that movie where they wouldn't let people have babies in it?
Okay, that was Children of Men, something like that.
It was an older one with Robert Duvall, I think, in that.
Okay, think about that, but right now...
Logan's Run.
I just want to address Gene. Animal factories are cruel and pollute terribly, and I agree 199%. I agree on that. The animal factory farming should never happen. Should be gone today. I want to say that right now. That should be gone today. No questions asked. That should be done. I agree. 159. I don't know. I agree. As high as you can make that agreement, I agree with that, because factory farming is ridiculous. Monoculture needs to go away right now as well. So anyway, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But when I see a good comment, when I happen to see a good comment, I want to say it.
Why did they come up with producing factory farm meats anyway? Why is that?
Because for profit. It was for profit.
Capitalism. There you go. Social conditioning. I mean, they could have come out with better ways to do agriculture and not use glyphosate and all that other. Never mind. But you know what I mean.
Yes, I understand what you're saying.
Well, a topic that I was going to mention for in the future was if we have this global climate collapse, would be a World War II type ramp up where they stopped production. They were able to stop production of what happened to Oz. Where'd you go, man?
I don't know.
He must be like a
I wonder if
checking underneath the sink. I think that's what he's doing. He's underneath the sink and he's checking the valves of this OBS.
I don't know.
Okay, he's lifted the hood of Chris's computer, and he's inside of it, fixing the sound. And, Logan's Run was great, man. Awesome movie, but that was kind of the opposite. People would terminate at the age of 30, which I agree with too.
Yeah, well, I think definitely. Once you're, I don't think you should have kids early. There's Oz. Oz is bad.
I gotta step away, but it was and then we're gonna be there. We're gonna be there. Hey, Val.
Yeah, man.
Val, I want to tell you again.
Yeah, man, I'm here.
He can hear you, Val. Or Val can hear you, Oz.
Yeah, soy green, rollerball, um, uh, silent running.
Okay, I'm going to step away and I'll be back in a few. Okay.
Okay, which is Chris. I mean, Chris didn't watch the movie, but
Not yet. I need
that is
to.
her. That is you.
No, it's okay. I got to step away real quick, but
Okay. Give Joey a hug. Tell her thank you for letting us take you
Val
for a minute.
still sounds like he's talking through a toilet paper tube. So I believe it is the OBS.
Yes.
But they can hear him. They can hear him for sure. Let me step away and I'll be right back.
Okay.
He's gone into the computer again. Our man went inside.
I
No
know.
fear.
And now I don't remember what I was talking about. Damn it. I'm like, what did I have?
Well, we were talking about overpopulation. And by the way,
Which I always get in trouble for, and I always lose subscribers.
you should have watched the Lisa Haven video I sent you. Okay? Where she was lying about overpopulation. Okay? So that's why you have all these people who do not believe in overpopulation. And she's propaganda, Lisa Haven propaganda, lying about saying, hey, we could take 10 billion easily.
I hear that all the time. All you have to do is go vegan or stop food waste or whatever. I'm not buying it. I'm just not buying it. I'm sorry.
Well, you're getting propaganda from both sides.
Oh, you are, for sure, both sides. And that's the problem, is because our government and our media is not telling everybody the truth. We're not on the same page. So we can't make any real decisions. Until everyone is on the same page, we can't make true, real, right decisions on what to do about our scenario. So, and it's been that way for a long time. If everyone was on the same page, we would have made decisions a long time ago, like in the 70s or before that, to fix the scenario we're in. And that has not happened.
And again, they had movies showing our future back then. So
Oh yeah, they did, but people
in that movie were stepping over people. Okay, it was, they kind of visualized overpopulation as not just resources, but people literally stepping over people. No jobs. Actually, it looked, the time they gave in the movie was like 2019, 2020, and they'd run out of food, and they were using reprocessed people to make into food. That was a Soylent Green.
it's kind of like pink slime, but only with people.
Well, they had Soylent Green and Soylent Blue.
Yeah, but like, you know what pink slime is, right?
Yeah, to put in the meat, to kind of, they pick up the meat off the floor and glue it into the hamburger.
Yeah, and they mix it with ammonia and everything.
Ammonia, yeah.
Yeah, and that was a Cargill thing. You know, the employer. Okay,
Yeah.
it's far enough into the video that no one's gonna notice. I worked for Cargill, and that was one of their things, was the pink slime. Love you, honey. Have a good night.
Did you rinse those bastards?
I didn't work for that section of it. I worked in the salt mining area.
And you worked in a salt mine. Oh my God. They had you working in a salt mine.
Well, it's not like what it sounds. It was on the Great Salt Lake.
She was working in a salt mine.
No, I drove it. Okay, I did several things there, but
I'm joking.
I know. But I worked 7 years on the salt flats, harvesting. It was more harvesting salt than a salt mine. It wasn't underground salt mining. It was on the side. It didn't look very harmful to me at the time, because until I worked there for a while, and I saw that there was canals of the remnants of the mining that turned into sludge, and then they would tell us, if you drove your truck into that canal, you're dead. There's nothing we can do for you. And animals would go into there and die. They would just, you would find carcasses of animals in this canal where all the bad crap went. And this was just salt mining. You know what I mean?
So you're saying the fumes overcome you?
No, not necessarily. I wouldn't say it was the
die?
fumes. I'm not sure because as far as I know, they didn't add any I'm frozen. They didn't add any new chemicals to it. It was just oh no, actually when I think about it, the water came from the chlorine plant. They reused water from the chlorine plant to wash the salt. And I ran the wash plant at the salt. I ran the digger that dug the salt up, and then I ran the trucks that the salt was shot into as the digger dug it up. But I didn't even put that together. But the salt was reused from MagCorp, which is they do chlorine. Like my nephew worked at MagCorp, and they did chlorine, like they produced chlorine and stuff, and he couldn't even stand it. He worked there for a couple months and like, I'm done, because the smell was so horrible, and you could smell the chlorine from where I worked.
It probably wasn't too
But
good on your skin either.
I didn't connect it. It's like I'm just barely connecting this thing. Like right now, I had like bumps on my arm all the time, and I don't think my respiration has ever been back to normal again, but the water that went through the canal, I always wondered why it was so toxic if they never added anything to it. And now I'm thinking, oh yeah, they reuse the water from MagCorp, which is a chemical company that produces chlorine. That's probably why that canal is so toxic. So if you fall in that, you're dead, and there's nothing we can do. And I've seen animals.
Where's this canal at, Chris?
It's right off the Great Salt Lake.
Yeah.
In Utah.
So have they got like warnings, like Superfund site?
I haven't seen anything. Like, I mean, there's no trespassing signs all over, but that's all I've ever seen. I mean, they're pretty secure sites where people can't. MagCorp, which is a chlorine plant. And then we also shared water with the titanium plant.
Fucking titanium.
So all that water is being recirculated through all these plants and getting into the Great Salt Lake as well. I know the Great Salt Lake is very polluted also. So I'm not supposed to be talking about this, by the way, but we're far enough into this show. Hey, Paul's here.
How you doing, man? You're looking awesome, dude.
Yes, he is, as always. I miss Paul. You haven't been on for so long.
Hey, you guys can hear me, see me okay?
I can see you. I can hear you. Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got to turn off the sound because... Can you hear me?
Steel sheets on the
Yes.
materials you
Hey,
handle.
okay.
Scott Murto, they had MSDS on everything we used, but it didn't contain what was in the water that was circulated through the plant, if that makes any sense. Because, yeah, all water is polluted, human. That's true. It would be Russian roulette whether or not radioactive particle in their their system, and it takes years to have effect. Source of cause is far gone. Yeah, when you think about it, though, when they're circulating between the titanium plant, MagCorp, which produces chlorine and such, and then there's the salt plant, and they use the same. Oh my God! Everybody's salt they use for their water softeners, and all the salt that goes into like animal feeds, because we were a feed grade facility. All that mineral based stuff that they fed the livestock, that was all polluted. It was polluted. It was washed with that salt. That's insane.
I think he's checking his video, lighting. But I wanted to ask him something that I think is going to maybe twerk off some people.
Yeah, you're right, Val. I was checking the...
Can I piss you off?
Human says that your audio is low.
Mine?
Or I'm not sure if it's you or
Go ahead, Val.
Val.
Okay, possibly we are in an extreme situation. So would you be
Aunt Tina's
fine
here.
in ecological dictatorship? Could you accept that?
Could you describe that a bit for me?
That rather than having senates, congresses, individual governors, senates in the different states, all them passing different laws, that you would have an
I'm gonna
ecological dictator.
I'm gonna take a
who
break and
would
let
say,
you two chat
we're,
for a sec, okay?
okay, that we are going to and she dropped out. We're going to that the ecological dictator would just say, we're turning off the gas stations. The only gas will be for emergency vehicles, power plants shut down, extreme measures. Extreme.
I mean, that kind of thinking does not scare me.
Human can't hear you, Val, so try to speak a little louder.
I'm yelling into the mic. I agree with you, Paul.
You
This
know,
is something that's not been brought up.
I remember when I was younger. You know, you guys have heard of the Baha'i religion, right?
Yes.
Now, the Baha'is, I guess, one of their main ideology, if that's the right term, is world government. They believe in a world government. And when I was younger and more of a shaker and baker, I didn't quite agree with that idea. But as I get older, it seems absolutely essential to that we have a single government looking over everything, as opposed to all the
A fractured situation where you have 180 different countries.
right.
I believe the number is 185.
Right. And, you know, and as you guys know, I don't, or maybe don't know, I don't know. I don't get too involved in the political minutia.
You leave it up to Brian, right?
Well, he knows more on those issues than I
He's
do.
a bit of a hothead, though, isn't he?
Well, I mean, Brian strongly believes in his you know, and I mean, he's knowledgeable about the subject. He's much more knowledgeable about American government than I can ever be. So he's got strong. I mean, I've got strong feelings about some issues too. You know, certainly. You know, but I guess why did I bring that up? I just think that it's too late, really, to do too much. I guess this is a nihilistic side of me.
Well, I agree. Well,
I'm thinking it's just too late.
What do you think about, say, a World War II type ramp up, where factories are shut down for consumer production and switched over to sequestering carbon from the air? That the government takes over all production.
Yeah, that may be the only thing left to do. But you know, yeah, I could talk about something. I guess I feel a lot that I'm more knowledgeable about. And hey, folks, I think we're close to a market meltdown.
Yeah,
it could be 1 month. It could be end of the year, but I don't think it's going to take much longer than, say, first quarter next year. And I was talking to Brian today.
But Paul, what about the plunge protection team?
What's that?
You know, the plunge protection team, the team
Trump,
to keep the market up.
Yeah, well, you see, what's happening is the Fed has become a eunuch, and or rapidly becoming so. And once, you know, I think Trump was talking about negative interest rates. Do you guys realize how dangerous that is to have negative interest rates? Yeah. It does no good. And basically, the market will find out that lowering rates is not going to do much more good. And again, it's just a sugar buzz. And once that buzz is worn off, and no, seriously, I think we're close. We're really close to it. And let's see what happens. Let's see what breaks.
Well, don't you think the market's been artificially kept up?
No question.
The cycle, the recession cycle, that's what, about every 9 years, 8 or 9 years?
Well, yeah, the market's been artificially kept up, and really mainstream Americans have not benefited from it in any way. It's only benefited the shareholders, the large shareholders, institutions, the
hedge
wealthy.
funds.
Yeah, because we've had a record number of stock buybacks. What stock buybacks is where the companies buy their own shares, so they reduce the number of shares outstanding, and at the same time they push their stocks up. So you have a bunch of stocks moving up, and the index moves up, but the average American is not benefiting from this in any way. It's not creating jobs. It's not doing anything really. It's not stimulative in any way. But that stuff dries up, and it is drying up. And once that dries up,
Now maybe we should explain. We should explain stock buybacks a little bit more. And you tell me where I'm wrong, but it's basically corporations literally buying back their own stock,
right?
Which they make money on the difference. When the on the difference of the purchase of the stock, the margin, right?
Yeah, it does two main functions, none of which benefits us. One is it reduces the number of outstanding shares, therefore it helps earnings per share. Earnings per share then goes up. So technically the earnings are greater than, say, the previous quarter or the equivalent the previous year. But it's not real because the number of outstanding shares has been reduced by these stock buybacks. So anyway, basically it's just a manipulative way of getting stock
Rich.
prices up. Yeah,
Getting rich.
and it's not helping anybody.
It's not helping the economy.
And these games are running out. The effects of these games they're running out. It's running out. So, I think October is going to be dangerous. The early part of October, it's a traditional time of crashes.
Right.
You can't rule it out. And yes, I'm in the stock market right now, but I'm going to be out in a month. I'll tell you guys, 1 month. That's my max.
Really?
And I'm bailing.
What if you wait too long, man?
I know it's a razor's edge. It's I'm dancing.
You're trying to time the market, man.
Yeah, I know. I
Why
got a little bit of
don't you just get out now?
I want more. I'm not happy with the prices and some of the things that I got. I'm stuck in a few things.
You're looking at all those candlesticks, man.
Yeah, I know. It's a dangerous game.
Yeah.
But I can get out quickly. I can get out in a day. I don't have any mutual funds, so I have all individual stocks. I can sell right away.
Really?
Get out, no clearing, wait till the end of the day kind of business. It's I'm out. So.
Chris, are you coming back?
Yes, give me a sec.
Hello there, Oz.
Chris,
Are you there?
Christine?
Fuck.
Christine? Hello, Christine?
Eh.
Are you coming back?
Yes, give me a sec.
Okay, I've got a...
I'm here. I'm here.
I'm
I'm
gonna
sorry.
answer the freaking door, so the panda bear is going to jump
I
in.
was trying to look up what Osama put in the chat, and I'm sorry, I put all kinds of funky stuff on the screen while I was doing that. I kind of need to pop out my chat again. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Guys, I got a funny picture, but how do I show it to you?
You can share the screen, pretty sure.
How do I do that?
Run your cursor down towards the bottom, and there's a green thing that has an up arrow and says share. Do you see that?
Oh, let me get rid of my fantasy football site first.
Okay, good idea.
Okay, yeah, it does say share. Okay, share, and
I'm trying to read this thing that Osama gave me from, I think it's talking about MagCorp, who does the magnesium salt from the Great Salt Lake. I know it's being, in fact, on today's local news, one of the regular news anchors on the morning show was talking about how the Great Salt Lake needs to be cleaned up, and that really shocked me that he knew that, because he's kind of normally not so into stuff and things. I don't know.
I'm gonna show you guys this picture. I just don't know how. It's funny.
You should be able to just share your screen.
Well, I mean, it gives me an option of I don't know. I lost the page. If I got too many tabs open, I lose where I'm at.
Oh, I do too. And I usually have to close them all down while I'm doing streams so I don't get too slow. I have too little RAM. I got to get more RAM. By the way, Chris Foster's probably not here, but I just want to thank him publicly for raising his Patreon amount to Nature and Hospice on Patreon because damn, thank you, Chris. You're awesome. I'm
Okay,
hoping
guys,
to
check this
increase
out.
my RAM really soon.
Can you see that? I'm sorry for the interruption, but I'm just so delighted.
No, you're
I got
good.
this.
Yes,
Can you see that?
I can see a picture of a grumpy guy. Yeah.
Yeah, who is that, folks? Guys, can anyone identify?
Kind of looks a little
Oh,
like
it's
you.
here.
A little like you.
No, that's the two Boltons. That's John Bolton, who just got fired by Michael
Oh.
Bolton.
Wow. Oh my God.
It's called the Combined Boltons.
Oh my God. That's insane.
I really wanted Val to see this. Oh well.
I don't know where did Val. Oh, Val walked away, didn't he? I gotta get the freaking
Combined Boltons.
chat back up. There we go. Okay, I got the chat back up without interrupting the screen. Okay. Antina anthropomorphic. I can never pronounce that right. Facsimile. Got it right. Antina. I'm just gonna.
Hey, Val, check this out.
Wow.
Bolton. Choctaw Warrior got it right. Jean got it right. Ashiva got it right. Just
That's the
build.
two Boltons, Val.
Just
Wow.
build your own PC.
That's
I don't
Michael
know how to
and
build
John
my own PC, Zux. If I knew tech shit, I wouldn't be in the mess I'm in. So, I'm sorry. I suck.
I don't know. I thought
Sandy got it right. I'm pretty sure Osama got it right. Yeah, most people got it right. Oh my God, we have the smartest people here. We just do. Cool, man.
John Bolton
That's
just got
crazy. But he
Yeah.
is nuts. I mean, he is so war hungry. I
guess I like the combination because the Michael Bolton. A lot of people make fun of him. So.
yeah, well, with good reason though. I mean, but you know what?
I'm neutral.
I get kind of I have a problem because okay, you can't save every human on the planet and save the planet at the same time. So where are you supposed to put your priority? Because you are a human, so you tend to want to save humans because you're a human and you have kids that are human, you have parents that are human, you have all the, connections are human, but you want to save the planet, and in order to save the humans, you have to save the planet. So where do you put your priorities? I really want to know this question because
Well, we were kind of discussing that with the ecological dictatorship.
yeah, we were, but
friendly
there's
stuff.
more people on this panel right now, so I really want to hear the other people's position on this.
Well, that's my position.
I know what your position is. Oz and Paul, no comment.
Oh, I'm sorry. What was the question again? It was then what do we do?
Yeah, what do we do when okay, saving the planet is what's going to save the people, but in order to save the planet, there's going to be many people who die. So what do you do? Where do you place your priorities? Saving the planet in the long run or saving some people in the short run? What do you do? What do you do?
I don't know. I'm kind of selfish and I'm focusing on myself and I'm just trying to live out the rest of my life as meaningfully as I can. I'm not really taking any concerted or coordinated efforts to stop what I think is already a foregone conclusion. I think Val's suggestion is probably the closest idea. Yes, I could live with that. I think it'll take something draconian like that. But hey, look what happened to the Bahamas. 2 islands got wiped out. Those islands will never recover. We've already seen some of the ramifications right on our doorstep of of this abrupt climate change.
What do you think about them wanting to rebuild it? I mean, is
No,
that
no.
fruitless or?
I ran a show called Abaco, A Personal Story, because I lived there for 2 years, and I found that the theme of that program was no, do not even think of rebuilding that place. Use
Thank
it
you.
as a place to visit, if anything. Definitely not a place to stay.
And Paul Beckwith did the same thing. He said, yeah, maybe put some cruise ships out there and then you can move them. I think that's what his
Actually,
thing was.
cruise ship away, but that's just my personal.
I don't want cruise ships either because I think that's just a horrible waste of power and stuff.
Also, it's not a real vacation. I mean, if you're going to take a vacation, take a real one. Don't take a fake one. I mean, the cruise ship is a fake vacation. You're just traveling with a bunch of like-minded people with like-minded.
Yeah,
they
you're
just want to
floating in a
fun.
hotel room.
They're carrying their culture with them. They land in some fake island that they've been leased out and, full of, something you can find at a water resort in your own state. I mean, it's not a real vacation. It's just getting together on a party boat.
Yeah,
It's
basically.
a party bus. I mean, I just don't like the concept of them at all.
Well, my idea of a vacation is going camping and spending time with nature. But if everybody did that, then there wouldn't be any peace in nature, if that
Right,
makes any sense.
right. Yeah, where are the secret hiding spots anymore? Abaco was one of mine, and now it's been wiped out. There's a little evil part of me that is happy about what happened to Abaco. Just a little evil part that I try to suppress.
I know,
But-
me too, and I feel so guilty about it, and I really feel bad about the suffering. I'm totally horrified by the suffering that happened there, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, look, can you guys open your eyes and see what's happening now? Can you please?
Well, the thing
But
is,
they're only reporting like 40 deaths when there's so many more.
Well, look who suffers the most, right? I was watching a video today about what's left of Marsh Harbor, and they had a couple people on strong Haitian accents. It was the Haitian squatters. They lost everything. I mean, the fairly wealthy, comfortable Americans who have summer homes there, they're all just moved back to West Palm Beach, and their insurance will cover whatever. But their lives, they may have taken a hit, but they're not destroyed like that. But it's the Haitians who came in originally on
It's the
boats
poor
and-
colored people and that are going to suffer the worst of the climate change. And I feel horrible about that as a white person, middle class person. I kind of feel bad. I feel like, I'm sort of responsible for that in a lot of ways. And how do you deal with that? How do you deal with that guilt?
I don't get scared about too much, but what I am scared of, I'm scared of, I think, the fabric of our society is very thinly woven together, and we've got a lot of nutcases armed to the teeth, and this will only get worse as society deteriorates due to climate change or whatever else. People will come out with those automatic rifles and just take large numbers of people out. We're no more safe than the third world people, in the end.
Less safe. The third world doesn't have as many guns.
Right. I mean, even in Toledo, they're arresting people. The Secret Service came out to interview someone recently, someone that I was tenuously connected to. I mean, that person was making threats against the president. And so, I mean, it's every town. I know, Chris, you live in Utah, I suppose in a very rural area.
Pretty rural, not super rural. I'd like to be a lot more rural, but it's fairly rural, yeah.
I think the urban areas are, at risk.
Yeah, I would much rather be where I'm at right now than in Salt Lake City. I mean, because at least here we have enough room. We can build an outhouse. We can probably fortify our land, but we'd still have to move our horses up to the mountains where they could graze, because we certainly can't buy hay once everything happens, the collapse happens. There's not going to be no one to buy hay from unless we're collaborating with our neighbors that already have the hay and the land and all that, which we're working on those relationships and all that. But if really shit hits the fan, we will have to move up to the mountains with all of our horses and let them graze.
Shape because You tell me what will happen in an urban area. So you just get 300,000 people when suddenly there is no more water from the municipal taps, to use Guy McPherson's word. What happens? And there's none available in stores. What happens? They're gonna come out shooting. People will just come out shooting, robbing, entering homes, trying to get whatever sources of water they can get, stored water. It's ugly. It's not going to be a pretty end at all. We're all subject, right, to the ravages
Right.
of
Absolutely.
of abrupt climate change and the people in the cities. I live in a city. It's not going to be nice. I'm in a dangerous area.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, but Paul, have you got your Mad Max outfit ready? All leather, your war paint your face, mohawk.
Maybe Paul will go down without much of a fight, I think.
Get your Tahoe.
I'm gonna fight like hell, but only people who fight against me. If they want to cooperate, I'm more than willing to cooperate with people. I think that's the best.
Well, I was kind of joking.
I know you're joking, but really, I want to get serious a minute here. If you can cooperate with your neighbors, you'll have a much better chance of survival than if you're just trying to battle them. You know what I mean? And
quite frankly, I'm turning 60 shortly. I'm kind of hoping that I go before it gets to that stage. All right, I'll be honest. That's the way I'm.
Well,
I'm thinking there's a good chance of that. I hate to say it, but I'm thinking there's a pretty good chance of that. I don't want to say that. I don't want you to go, Paul. You're one of the good ones.
17 years left, according to mortality tables. Can the Earth survive another 17? Isn't it so selfish, this thought process in my part?
Oh, not really, man.
Selfish. Oh my gosh.
But since you're in healthcare, I mentioned when Christine did her video, I think with the psychologist.
Peter Miller.
This is extremely depressing. I probably shouldn't bring it up, but I really think the government should have euthanasia pills.
Well, my idea was government-assisted suicide centers.
Well, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But I think that I can tell by looking at Christine, it's really not her cup of tea, is it?
No, I actually brought that up. I think in my first interview with oh my God, was it Kevin Hester or was it Guy McPherson? One of those. I brought that up where I thought that we should have some availability of pretty much suicide or euthanasia pills to take ourselves out of our misery when shit happens. And
it'll happen, folks. I believe it'll happen.
Well,
yeah.
Guy McPherson is saying that the planet's going to go from 7.5 billion to zero, plus or minus whatever, within 10 years. That's a lot of people to die at once.
Right.
So,
I think it's right in one way. I've been thinking about this today. I think he's right in one way, and that is that it will happen quickly. I mean, relatively quickly. But what's quick in geological terms? Is it 20 years? Is it 30 years? Is it 5 years?
We don't have, nobody knows exact timeline. I mean, all we can do is watch the ice levels and no, and he's given up giving even predictions for it. He gave predictions and then kind of looked like a fool for a while, but I still think his science is sound. It's just it's a matter of time, but a lot of the predictions are coming true. Things are happening. They're happening right now. If you don't see them, you're up in the night. I mean, they're happening.
Do you folks think that most Americans, or a lot more Americans, are aware of the expedited deterioration of the world? Do you think?
Not the ones I'm surrounded by. No.
Same here.
Really? Because I am witnessing a greater awareness on the part of.
You're pretty lucky because I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing anybody in my immediate family that has any concept of what's going on right now, as far as the world goes.
Don't they feel that, hey, wow, this world is deteriorating, going to hell in a handbasket?
Well, they think it's going to hell, but they think it's all political. It's political. They're not thinking environmental. They're thinking political.
Paul, you said most. Okay, there are what, 330 million people in this country,
I
right?
said more. I said more than I didn't say most. I said more, or I meant more. More
More?
America.
Okay, well, I heard something more is more.
More and more, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, on social media, people who are on social media, I believe, but I think people watching the Hallmark Channel and MSNBC don't at all.
Well,
And
I think, folks, that it's not there. When I say this, what I mean is that people are aware that things are going to hell in a handbasket. They don't necessarily know why. They know about, maybe it's climate change, maybe it's something else. They just know that things are getting really shitty economically, politically, everything, environmentally. They don't know what the ultimate cause is. I don't think they think that out. But there's no question in my mind that a lot more people than ever before are realizing, especially the older generation.
I agree with you. Yeah, absolutely. The 60 plus or the 50 plus, sure. But I'm really puzzled because I did a lot of math when I was working as far as trending. Can't they take the last 20 years and do a trending analysis with, they've got them all over the place, and can't they interpolate a time when everything is really going to start collapsing to the point where it's going to hit? And I'll finish the statement by saying, look at India. They're absolutely living in garbage. Everybody in that country, I mean just about everybody, a big percentage, has diarrhea daily because of the poor health standards there. The heat's going up there. And how many people are in India? 3 billion? Is that right?
There's a lot, but Bangladesh is screwed. I mean,
and these big metropolises of third world countries or not, they're going to collapse first. Would you say that is a fair assessment? Are they going to?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so what happens when all those collapse? How does that affect the overall mean of what's happening? When vast swaths of people, like 3 billion people, die all at once, that takes the pressure off of what? Or does it cause more pressure? That's my question.
Well, I think one thing you get is what we're getting a whiff of now, and that is, these fascist governments springing up internationally. These governments that are opposed, that want to restrict immigration, that want to divide everything according to the elites, and those who are non-elite, divide those who, are a certain color. We're seeing that already. In other words, they realize that the dinner table has only so many seats.
Can we think outside the box for 1 minute? And I'm not trying to credit Trump's racism or anything else about building walls.
Right.
But do you think there's something deeper and darker behind this whole push to wall the country, in the sense of what we're talking about here, seeing the writing on the wall? Because these tests have been made in the lab and think tanks about what would happen if the climate goes up 2-3 degrees and everything starts collapsing around the world. How do we keep ourselves viable in that situation? Well, keeping entities out of this country might be the case. Could that be behind some of this stuff, this anti-immigration?
It's the Mad Max thing that Val was referring to. If I recall, in the Mad Max, they had these little settlements based on very scant water resources, and they were keeping outsiders out. And man, that movie's so prophetic now. I think that's what it's going to be. It's awful. It's going to be an ugly, ugly end. I just hope again that I have a natural death before that.
I do have some good news that I may want to discuss with you on a later date concerning space reality. I can't really get into it now because it's too convoluted, but there may be some other alternatives. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not good on answers, folks. I just, like you guys, I see the problem. And
okay, so what country do you think, what hemisphere, what country, what do you think, where do you think it's going to collapse first?
Well, I think probably the countries that are overpopulated, that are close to the equator. I would imagine India, you mentioned already, Bangladesh, there's an area in Burma which borders. It's called Myanmar now, I guess, the country, but
Parts of Africa where they're already hitting no water
Africa,
points,
anywhere
and
around the equator that is also quite overpopulated. I think those are the first to.
yeah, and it's going to be a lot of poor countries, and there's going to be a lot of mass migration as that happens, trying to come here. And I kind of halfway think that the wall and all that, with the governments pushing the wall, the Republicans and all that, is partly because they know that there's going to be migrations because of climate. And so they're trying to make another excuse to hurry up and get that done. I don't know. I'm grasping at straws. I do not pretend to know. This is just my
Hey guys,
instinct.
think of China. They're also, of course, overpopulated. But they're also got a lot of money. They've got a lot of industry. I think they're dead center here as well in the danger zone, mainly because of the pollution. They became the world's manufacturer, and look at the cost. And I think they're realizing it now, and they're using these trade wars as a sort of an excuse to perhaps get away a little bit back away from this export, economic model that they were built on. I don't know. It's interesting, but maybe Val's what do you call it? One ecological power.
Ecological dictatorship. Dictatorship.
Yeah, maybe.
No, I agree with that. I just want it because, a woman after my own heart. I think Jean's a woman. I hope so. Maybe Jean's a man. I don't know. That could go either way. But
The French gene.
But you all have huge houses. You should share. I mean, I know a lot of people cannot handle living with other people. I understand that. So you people that can't live with other people have a tiny house. But anyone who has a big house, we have a 4-bedroom house here. 4 bedrooms. When it was just me and my husband, I felt so guilty having all this space to ourselves. And so I kept trying to bring more and more people. Over the years, we've had nephews, we've had friends, we've had family, like moving in and out of our house, and just shared the space and worked as a community. And I think it's really important. I don't think it should be legal. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I don't think it should be legal to have a ginormous house with 7-8 bedrooms and just have 2 people living in it. And then have multiple houses on top of that, which is the way a lot of those elites live. That should be illegal. No, when we have all these people living on the streets and they're being booted off the streets, and then everywhere they go, they're being booted or arrested or whatever, just because they don't have a house, there's something wrong with that. And people tell me I'm evil because I think we should stop having more babies. But, first, before we have more babies, take care of the ones we have now, for Christ's sake. The adult babies, the babies that are, sorry, I went off.
It's okay. You're on fire. You're a warrior princess. You're an ecological warrior princess.
I don't know about that, but it fucking makes no sense. Don't fucking tell me you can bring as many babies onto this planet as you want until you're taking care of the ones that are here now. Take care of the ones here now, and then talk to me about bringing more babies.
Don't
Maybe we
fuck
should
with
all get
Chris
into
or
like,
Sandy.
maybe we should all jump into campers and go up to Canada or something.
Yeah. I'm ready. I have my
thinking about
camper.
it.
Just live in a camper or trailer, right?
I'm thinking about that too. No, I just want to try and pose the same question in different ways. Give us a timeline when everything's going to collapse, or who's going to collapse first, or how do we mitigate these situations? But I think they're going to once that starts, once that feedback loop starts that you've all discussed before. A lot of that kind of stuff is going to take care of itself. It's just, where are you going to be? And, what is going to be your access to the basics to keep you alive? And the question a lot of people are going to do is, do we want to be alive through all this? We don't want to procreate. At least sane people don't, I would think. But rule of thumb, I think it's going to have to come down to, a total population freeze. And your family can't have any more kids until you are dead. That would be one way to do it. I don't know. I just, there's too much social conditioning we've had with the religions and the conservatives and the capitalism and the fake democracies and everything else. Since we went to globalization, that's when everything went into hell. That globalization, it shouldn't have been globalization based on a capitalistic system. It should have been globalization.
I've argued for that on our show. I called it the triumph of global capitalism, where China and Russia, two formerly socialist / communist nations, embraced the market economy. We didn't need that. And then you add the affluence of India. I mean, that was the end. All that expedited it. But, hey, look, in 10 years, I'll be 70 years old. How strong will my grip on life be that I'll sit there and fight and actually be willing to shoot somebody in order for me to live out
Paul,
an extra
you
year
will
or two?
have
I don't see it happening.
Paul, you will have
Happening at all.
an exoskeleton, a Terminator-type exoskeleton by then that you'll buy with your money you made in the market, and you'll be a cyborg with built-in assault rifles in your arms, and you'll take on all the zombies as they attack you.
RoboCop.
With your $5 million robo exoskeleton.
Yeah. Why have they had all these movies? Social conditioning, the damn Walking Dead, and the Purge. The Purge series makes me sick to my stomach because they're giving ideas out to those weak-minded people.
Have you seen that, Paul? The Purge?
I don't own a TV. I don't watch stuff.
Oh, okay.
That's for you, Paul.
That's a hell of a movie. I'll say that.
I'm sorry. I don't know.
And the Purge almost seems like it doesn't seem like it would be that far off from reality.
I'm thinking of that line from the T.S. Eliot poem, do I dare, with a bald spot in the middle of my hair, I'm not daring too much.
No, that's where I agree. When I'm 60 right now. We're close to the same age.
Really, yes,
yeah, I'm 60.
I'm older than both of you.
I just turned 60.
Well, you look eternally young. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, and you know what?
I'm old enough to be your daddy, Oz.
I'm looking down the short end of longevity barrel. The best thing I can contribute is what I can do to help my daughter go forward, and if I have to check out so she can live a little longer, that would be my choice.
Absolutely. I do the same. I plan to do the same. Chris!
Yeah.
You've got some kids. Would you check out? I know you have the answer to this already. You'd check out early just to help them if you had to, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would do anything for them. I absolutely, if I could end my life today and add another 10, 15 years to their lives, I would do it. If I could add another year to their life, I would definitely.
Another week.
Maybe even another week, yes. I mean,
such horrible decisions.
And you're talking about quality of life, too. You're not talking about suffering, because there becomes a point, like many people on this planet now, who are suffering daily. And they are the living dead.
yeah.
And they're going to be gone soon, too. But when you say you do something for your daughter or your son or, someone that you really care about in your life, I believe you're all in earnest when you say that. But there's that fear factor of so many people out there who would say that, but they don't have the courage to do it, but they have, or the will, but they want to. And I'll finish that off by saying a lot of the elderly people are going to just automatically check out unless they've got dementia and they don't even know what's going.
Government-assisted suicide centers.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was a fan of Kevorkian forever. They tormented him. They should be ashamed of themselves. He did more good.
I agree. I second that. Yes, we've had that chat before, but yeah, I mean, at this point, anyone who is in pain should be allowed to be go out in dignity and without pain. I mean, how many animals do we put out? Like, I can't stand to watch an animal go through suffering. Like the 2 dogs I lost recently. One of them, okay, and I feel the same way about animals as I do people. They're my family and all that. When I was hearing my dog cry, like at night, and would wake me up at night just with the moaning in pain. It's like, okay, that's it. We're going to take this dog in. We're going to have it put down. I can't handle listening to it suffering anymore. And it's not fair to the animal. Why are people supposed to go through that suffering? Like, when I am in a lot of pain, there's sometimes when, with my foot injury, I think I've thought several times, like, God, if this gets any worse, I don't know, or if this has to last forever. I mean, I can deal with it for a while, but if it had to last forever, I wouldn't want to deal with it. So why do humans not have the same advantage that animals do to be put out of their misery?
Because religions and governments have co-opted that right.
It's not correct. It's not right.
No, it's not right. It's shameful. It's horrible.
So in my town, and I'm sure it's true for probably all the towns, if the cops come across someone who is acting suicidal, they will pink slip that person and send them to a mental hospital.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Right.
the police have these powers. And of course, they're going to do that because they don't want to, have to do the paperwork and put them in the holding tank for them.
Paul, does the judge come to your hospital and have hearings?
No. And
Oh.
I just, I've got to be careful about talking about work.
Okay.
I don't want to do that. I'm just saying that the police have the power to pink
Right.
slip. So, Oz, that's based on what you're saying, that people just don't have the right at all to check out.
No,
So,
why don't we have that right, though? What the hell is wrong with society?
It's religious based, I think, originally.
Do people like watching their loved ones suffer
And
horribly?
then they're scared of lawsuits, They're scared of both. Like a family member might, say to the policeman, why didn't you try and stop this?
Oh, because they were suffering?
Leave reasons.
Fuck.
Yeah, and they said, well, the person was just upset for the night. Maybe we could have sedated that person for the night.
Okay, so you say you put a time limit. Okay, well, you have a week, okay? You have a week to decide. And after that week, you get to decide. So you don't get to do it last minute. Okay? And then once you have that week go by, you tell them, okay, here, or you give them the medication to do it. Here it is. When you decide it's right, you get to do it. But you don't give it to them for a week, so they don't do it last minute. And then they're going to think about it again before they do it.
I have something in common with you. Just as you work for Cargill and you don't approve of their practices, I work in an area in which I have some problems with some of the rules. And this is one of the rules I have a problem with, that people don't have the right to really take their own lives.
And they're suffering. I mean, you should put it that way, and they're suffering instead of take their lives, because
Yeah, but what happens when it's millions of people? Millions. And we're not
There's
talking
millions
about
of people, Val. It
millions
is.
of people who
it's going to be millions of people. It's going to be. It's a matter of time.
They're going to be jumping off a bridge or sticking a gun in their mouth or hanging themselves. That's what it's because people are not foresighted enough to realize this, that millions of people are going to die in horrific ways. And I'm trying to broach the subject to get people to realize, this is what you're looking at. Wake the fuck up. Your kids are, when your house is surrounded by cannibals, your only choice is going to be to shoot your kids.
No, I don't think I would do that. You know what I've done? This is horrible, but this is just me, what I've done. Oh my God, if my daughter finds this out. I don't know. But one of my stepdaughter's moms passed away, and she had so many drugs. She had all these sleeping pills. I collected all the sleeping pills and I put them aside. I might need them for this catastrophe, so I have them.
They don't last forever, Chris. The power pills have an expiration date.
Well,
I also want to
better than nothing. But I have
also wanna
them.
mention something else that Paul knows very well. A good portion of suicides are failed suicides.
That's true.
Paul knows that the people have shot themselves and not died.
I know, it's awful. It's awful.
I've seen.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. If you don't
I've
kid
seen one dude-
things
I've
just
seen one
right,
dude-
Okay, this is getting really depressing really fast.
Okay, but trust me, they need to seriously consider stockpiling euthanizing pills.
Yeah, they do. But you know what? I'm not going to go out. I've seen some comments on there. I'm not going to go out until I know my kids are safe or whatever. I don't know. I'm going to go out protecting my kids until my last breath. I don't know what that's going to look like. Who knows what that's going to look like?
A more enlightened view of suicide, meaning that we were more open to the idea of people taking their own lives. You couple that and take away people's antidepressant pills. How many people do you think would commit suicide? I mean, you're probably talking millions.
Yeah.
You're probably talking millions. If you took away the antidepressant pills as well.
What are you going to do when it's 140 degrees?
Well, that's going to be, you're done.
Hi, Anita M. Sorry, we have a new person on, so I just want to welcome Anita M.
Barbecue some marshmallows. Have
Hello,
a
Anita
cookout.
M.
Have a cookout in hell.
Well, I just, quickly, I just want to touch on hospice as a point. A lot of people don't understand that hospice is just basically you are putting that individual down at that point because they're terminal.
But you take care of them, but you just don't, you're not trying to save them anymore. You're just...
No, you're not. You're trying to keep them comfortable. And what they do is they give you the fentanyl or the transdermal cream, and you just, put it on as needed, which overdoses them, and their heart stops or whatever, and they're gone. And they're gone comfortably, and they don't even know it, usually. But, that is even... That's even waiting too long, in my opinion, for some people, because a lot of people don't want to suffer like that.
Well, okay, McPherson keeps talking about planetary hospice, and so does Peter Miller. They keep talking, but they don't really talk about the fact that they should be stockpiling euthanized pills. McPherson's very vague about it. Whenever people ask him all the time, "What's it going to be like?" and he never gets specific about it and says it's going to be fucking hell. He never does. He says some vague things, but he doesn't say that it's going to be murder, rape, robbery, suicide.
That is true, Val. He doesn't, and that's the way it's going to end. It's going to be murder, rape, and robbery. That's exactly how it's going to end.
Suicide.
S. Shiva is trying to make a point as far as digging deeper about nursing homes are filled with purposely sedated old folks.
Yes.
Well, that's the profit motive, I believe.
Yes, I think so too. They keep them alive as long as possible just to keep the income coming in. I agree with that. And my daughter, she went...
That is true, by the way. That's also my feeling.
My daughter, she was... what do you call them? A pharmacy tech. So she handled medications and all that, and she pretty much told me that most meds last long after their expiration date. I don't know.
Just reduced effectiveness.
Yeah, probably a little bit reduced, but they're still effective. So I keep old medications. I know they tell you to throw them away, but I'm sorry as a fan, I'm going to have these medicines handy, and I have antibiotics. I have those.
You're not dangerous. A lot of people do that. A lot of people do. I was a pharmacy tech for years, and I know people do that.
I don't have kids around. My grandkids come around, but where I keep the medicines is nowhere they'll be, so they'll never get their hands on them. But
I have to dispose of mine because I don't want my license to be threatened.
Oh well, I don't blame you. Yeah, because you're in that business. Of course.
You can also try a gas stove. It's just the tip.
Hey, how about what Goering took, Val? The cyanide pill.
Cyanide, yeah, and it was probably an American soldier. He had the cyanide hidden.
Oh, slipped it to him, huh?
Yeah, he had.
Oh, Trisha from New Zealand. Here they don't keep alive. They have death nurse who gives them overdoses of morphine, clears beds for new patients. You don't want to be in a rest home here.
No, that's what hospice does here when they're in home hospice.
Right.
They give you all kinds of stuff, and it's up to you to help them along.
Yeah, they
I
give
mean,
you plenty of morphine. You don't have
Yes.
restrictions after a certain
Yeah,
point, right?
yeah. I mean, you give heavy doses of morphine to an infirm aged person, they're not going to survive. That's exactly what they do.
Most depressing chat I've ever heard. I'm planning on living
Yeah, I'm
comfortably
sorry.
for the least 10 more years. Thank goodness, no kids. Mark, yeah, I'm sorry. We tend to get a little depressing occasionally.
It's not you, Chris. It's Val. No.
No, it's all of us. Let's face it.
I'm the Grim Reaper.
When do
No.
prescription medications really expire? Okay, Osama posted a link that shows when prescriptions really expire. So that might be a very useful link. Hey, email that to me, Osama, because I really want to know, and I don't want to click on that now because it might slow down my RAM or whatever the hell it is that I need. I have no RAM.
That's part of the problem is that people do not want to discuss about hard problems, overpopulation, cutting off the power, even this. What are you going to do when millions die? People don't want to talk about it. So what's going to happen is they're going to have to find out the hard way. Okay? So, yeah, let's not talk about it. Let's find out the hard way. I'm for that.
So anyway, we're going to take a big hit, I think, soon. We're going to take a big financial hit. Will we survive it? I think we will. I don't think this is the final one, but it's still going to hurt. And things will break on the way down. We'll have to see how it shakes out.
So, yeah, Jean says she thinks it's a very male-focused topic. Probably is.
Don't hate me.
Gene, can you
Okay.
give us a
Don't hate me.
female-centric topic that we can switch to?
I don't know if I can help there because generally I focus on things that usually males are interested in. But I do want to. I have a guest that I'm going to try and bring on. That's like he wanted to talk about microdosing. As long as we're on this topic of assisted suicide and all that stuff, microdosing is a way that a lot of the millennials are getting through their lives right now. As difficult as everything is, and we were gonna.
Dosing with?
I don't know. Because I haven't done enough research into it, but I was watching Blake TV. He's a channel you should definitely check out. I found him through Beer Man, who was a friend of my brother-in-law and sister-in-law in Oregon. Anyway, Blake TV is awesome. He was on here earlier today. I'm not sure where he's at right now, but there was someone on there that wants to talk about microdosing. And I seen a news story about it recently, and it's just about people not being able to handle reality. It's like, so they take like microdoses, just enough to get by, like not enough to get super high or anything. It's just microdosing of certain drugs to just get by in life. And
we're being microdosed right now. You guys know what with microplastics and
oh yeah,
radiation.
we
Now
have
we're-
lots of drugs that were definitely. But a lot of them aren't having positive effects as far as making, you feel better or anything. They're probably making you feel worse and causing more anxiety instead of something that could probably make you feel better and help you get through your day, especially when you're forced to work for the man while the planet is going to hell. And that's a problem I have with this is a total Women's Wednesday topic. It's like, how do you get through your day working for the man when you know what the hell is happening to the planet?
Didn't they make a movie with Jane Fonda, Lily Tomlin, and Working for a Living or something?
9 to 5. No, I don't know.
9 to 5. Yeah.
That was Dolly Parton and
Dolly Parton. Have you ever been to Dollywood, Trish? Chris, you ever been to Dollywood?
No, I don't travel much, but no, the better show was with Lily Tomlin and Jane Fonda was what was it called?
Paul, have you been to Dollywood?
No, I wouldn't go to a place.
Frankie and Grace and Frankie or something like that. I don't know.
In Dollywood.
I'm not into artificial entertainment.
Okay, Aunt Tina, I keep looking for the right mushrooms. I've never got to try
But I
mushrooms.
just don't do that stuff.
I would really like to try mushrooms. Well, but you know what? I don't care. I was such a prude. I wouldn't try anything.
No,
And
I'm talking about the Dollywood.
oh, Dollywood, you're a prude against Dolly
No,
Parton?
I just that artificial shit doesn't turn me on at all.
Oh, okay.
Well, I got a tip for you, Paul. When the end comes, okay?
What's that?
Here's a fine ass tip, okay? I already told Chris, okay? When the end comes, go to all the Cracker Barrel.
Yes, as Shiva, Frankie and Grace. That's the one I'm talking about.
I missed that one.
It's fantastic. It's on Netflix. You have to watch it. It's fantastic.
What's it about?
It's about two women that end up together because their husbands were best friends and worked together and ended up being gay, and so they both got divorced, and the exes got together, and one was a hippie and one was a businesswoman, and they had to deal with all crazy stuff from there. It was fantastic.
I'll watch it. I'll watch it in the bunker.
It was
Sounds
fantastic.
good. Yeah, we're watching the bunker.
It was fantastic.
Watch it.
It was with Jane Fonda and what was the other gal you mentioned?
I'll pass Paul a doobie.
Hey, I did that stuff when I was younger. I don't think I was.
Lily Tomlin.
Lily Tomlin, yes. Lily Tomlin and Jane Fonda together, and they were fantastic. The whole cast was great. It was a great show. I enjoyed every minute of it. I keep hoping they'll come up with another episode. I hope it's not done. It was
That'll
so
cheer you up in
good.
the end times.
There's
Yes,
a
it would.
movie out now. I haven't seen it yet. Where some con man befriends a kid with MR, and Hollywood is. I like movies like that. What they call normally non-comparable friends. And I guess that Frankie and Gracie kind of sounds like that. where you mix
Yes.
two people who normally wouldn't get along. And
I like that too. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a movie out in that now. I don't know the name of it, but it's Peanut Butter something. And
Oh, Peanut Butter Falcon.
yes,
I haven't seen it yet, but I want to see it. It looks good to me.
It's the same kind of theme, where you've got mismatched friends.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Kind of like you and Brian.
Well, you think we're that
Yeah, kind of like that.
You just think we're different? We're kind of similar. don't we?
No, you guys are totally different. No, totally different.
I was kidding, man. I think you guys are awesome.
I like you both in different ways. I relate more to you than I do with Brian, but I like you both. You're great. I have no problem with either one of you.
Yeah,
great that you have-
we haven't been running our show much. We're just coming up with ideas. The last one I kind of was for me, the Abaco, because I live there, and that's
I'm
it.
gonna have to catch. I didn't see. I'm not getting notifications. I don't know why. On a lot of shows I watch, I'm not getting notifications.
Oh yeah, Chris. So you obviously are, through work, are connected to mining. I heard you say.
Yeah, but that was yours. That was 2013 was when I stopped working there. Yeah.
Well, this movement towards electric cars, the batteries for those electric cars require a lot of rare minerals.
Yes.
What they call rare minerals, like
You already know how I feel about that, right?
cobalt, stuff like that. So those mines are all going to be ramped up. I mean, they're saying in the investment world that those are the metals to invest in. All this cadmium and stuff. Not that I'm doing it. But
That makes me cry. Like even thinking about the mining that would be doing for all the electric cars they're going to be pushing on people because you can buy your way out of environmental disaster. No, you can't. You can't.
Well, if you had an ecological dictator, then the person could just say no, and that's not going to happen. It's just that simple. But people, want to go, oh, I don't like that. One world government. So, yeah.
Okay, this is what I say. Bhutan. Every country has to replicate Bhutan and have 60% of that country designated for wildlife with corridors in between all those wildlife designations. And then whatever the hell you do with the remaining land, fucking go for it. Go crazy.
If you have half
Not
the
that I want that to happen, but I'm just saying, at least save 60% of the land for the natural world. For fuck's
Chris,
sake.
if you have half a dozen people at a meeting, are they going to agree on anything?
No.
Okay, try 7 billion. Are they going to agree? So you got to have somebody that's going to make them do it. Make them.
I know this, but try to get people to agree to have a fucking dictatorship. How the hell do you do that?
Dictatorship is not a good word. You'd have to use a good word. People have got a lot of, negativity towards that. And we want to have a positive word. So it would be like, Jesus leader or something like that. A Jesus leader to kind of get people on board.
Environmental ambassador.
Okay, using the word dictator, use a more happy word.
I don't know how to do it. Environmental ambassador, and then there's the people, environmental terrorists. There's too many fucking idiots out there to make that work. Too many idiots. I'm sorry, no matter what we come up with, there's too many idiots against it. I don't care if you're all for veganism. I don't care if you're all for electric cars. I don't care if you're all for windmills. I'm all against all those things, but it doesn't matter what you're all for. You're going to have enough people against it. But you may get enough people for electric cars and windmills and solar power, but then there's going to be companies.
Say your husband got elected president, okay? Kind of like
God
Bill Clinton and
forbid.
George. You would tell him what to do, okay? You would say, this is what I want. No more lithium mining, no more this. And you would tell him, like Hillary was really, she wore the pants in the family.
So you want a shadow government.
Right, but Hillary was a shadow government?
She probably was. Yeah.
They were co-presidents, but whatever. The case. The point is, you would make it happen. You would make it happen.
Oh, yeah. If it was my husband,
Huh?
If it was my husband,
Right.
he would fall in line.
So
You betcha.
make it happen. That's what you want, is to make it happen. Stop all this talking and make it happen.
Yeah, but you got to first you got to get people to agree on what is the necessary steps.
How are you going to get 7 billion to agree?
You're not.
You're gonna
not.
have to happen.
And then, okay, so how do you find the person who can do it
Well, I
who
know we
actually...
can start with folks, and I've argued for this on my shows, months ago, was confiscatory taxes. You simply just empty the pockets of the wealthy and spread that money amongst the rest of us.
Well, that's great, but how much does the wilderness get to preserve the wildlife? The wilderness, the wildlife.
Yeah,
what do they get?
At least we won't need factories to produce like they do now.
No, that's true, but we need to preserve what wild is left and increase it.
Day, right? And they won't need to spend on all this, sumptuary goods. We'd have to change our views on that. Our want of material things. I stopped celebrating holidays years ago.
Me too.
They were just materialistic orgies. That's all they were. And Christmas. I haven't bought anything Christmas for over a decade. It's easier to do when we get older, obviously, but that's just an example. We really don't need these material items. We don't need them.
I still don't give my grandchildren gifts. They're new to my family. I don't give them gifts. I give them an experience instead of gifts.
There you go. Much better.
Okay, but other people are still giving gifts. We're talking about how to force other people to do it. 1942, if you wanted a new Cadillac, you weren't getting one. Okay, it didn't matter how much money you had. The government took control of production.
Yeah, you just shut down the car factories entirely.
Right.
No more cars.
You couldn't get a new Cadillac. Too bad. You don't get it. Okay, they forced the government was basically a dictatorship during World War II. People don't want to deal with it. Okay, they just can't handle it. I can't hear this. He's saying dictatorship. He's saying forcing people to do things. Okay.
I think a lot of people here agree, though. Okay, hold on. Let's read some comments, guys. Do you have the comments pulled up?
Yes, I do.
Do it.
Okay. Anita M., did anyone watch Peter Miller's last interview? The lady thinks
Yes,
we're
that was
going
awesome.
to be here 50 years after the collapse. I think
Not just
she's
ban cars, Hierophant. I would just ban oil. You know, I mean, just take away the fuel, and then there you stop all those vehicles. You know.
yeah. And but Anita, yeah, I think she's a little overly optimistic, but you know, she's yeah. She's kind of a scientist and stuff, a teacher, I think, if I remember right.
Sure.
I started way further back, so let's just take turns and read comments and just pick one you want to read. Val, go for it, your turn, and then Paul.
Okay, we're so.
Just pick one that you like.
Okay, Osama bin Laden. The math does not work to build the scale we need. There are not enough lithium, neodymium, graphite, copper, and quite a few other elements. Okay, so I guess he's talking about, you know, the rare earths for electric cars and other electric solar panels. That the scale is not there. People are going to find out the hard way about a lot of things. The hard way is realizing that your paradise on Abacore, that it's going to be gone. It's gone. Reality, I like to use this phrase because I really believe it. And that phrase is reality is a cruel mistress. Or can be a cruel mistress. Or wants to be a cruel mistress. But she is a cruel mistress. And we all, you know, people are going to find out soon enough. You know, it's a bitch, man. There's no hiding from this.
Okay, Paul's turn.
I certainly agree. We read about Grand Bahama. The covers blew off the oil container tanks over there, and we don't know how much oil is spilled into the oceans around the Bahamas. We're going to find out. But,
It doesn't look good, but
but
yeah.
it's interesting because back in 1970, 71, when I was 11 years old, I would, in combing the beaches in Abaco, I would sometimes step on globs of tar. And I believe that the tar came from the ships that were transporting oil into and out of those tanks.
Whose comment was that?
None. I'm just bringing this up as
Okay.
I kind of did my turn already with the cars. Yeah, so basically going back to what Hierophant said with banned cars, what I would do is I would just stop producing oil.
I would stop producing new cars. Like, just stop producing new cars.
Well, if you stop producing oil, the cars are not going to do you any good, or the means to power cars, or any of those machines. Just stop it all. And,
Well, yeah, I agree with that. But I think at the very least, just stop producing new cars. We have plenty of cars on this planet, and melting them down is more energy usage than mining for new
yeah, I kind
stuff. So it's like, quit selling new cars. I don't care if they're fucking electric or whatever. Quit selling new cars. And those trucks that they're selling are ridiculous that everyone's buying here. They're ridiculous. They're like $50,000-$60,000 for a pickup truck. Are you kidding me? I won't spend more than $2,000 for a vehicle. Screw that. That's like, what the hell? If people stop buying them, they'll stop selling them. They just have to look better than the neighbors. Anyway, okay. I got to go to another comment. Scott Murto. Mining knowledge is important. A sustainable future for our species will necessarily include mining all our historical landfills. And okay, this is my feeling on that. I hope he's on the same lines as what I'm thinking and what we need to do with opening up landfills and utilizing all the shit people are throwing away. I hope that's what he's thinking about, because when he's saying mining our landfills, that's what I'm thinking of. Please let me know, Scott, if that's what you are thinking, because yes, I 100% agree with taking everything that people are throwing away and making use of it, repurposing it, because there's a lot of shit people are throwing away that's still useful that we could use and not make new shit. So I've talked a lot about that, of all the stuff we've repurposed right in this room. I mean, shelves and everything that we've made out of repurposed materials. I'm hoping that's what you're saying. Okay. Thank you, Scott Murto. Anyone else find another comment? Because I got to go pretty quick, so find some good comments.
How about the comment that Matt Ajingo's, maybe? Is it Jingo? I think physicists get it. It's simple thermodynamics problem. Oceans hold so much more heat than air or land. And how much heat is that? 10 nuclear bombs every 2 seconds?
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
How long can that happen?
It can't. I mean, the oceans can only handle so much heat.
And we've been doing it for how many years, decades now?
Forever and ever.
Well,
Complex
as I
PTSD is the norm. Yes, Matt. Oh my God.
And as I mentioned, we have the equivalent of a sun inside the center of the planet. And that's what creates the electromagnetic field of the Earth. Now, of course, they say that not much heat comes from that, but hey, I think it's more than they say. You know what I'm talking about, Paul, right?
God, I love you guys so much.
Yeah.
Yes, Scott. Okay. That's what Scott was talking about. He was agreeing with mining the landfills. Yes. What do you think about mining the landfills and using what we have already produced to
Why not?
do what we need to do? I don't know. That's a huge thing with me. So yes, Scott, yes, I'm so proud of you for. I mean, not that. I don't know. That's kind of a pat on my own back to say I'm proud of you for that, but I agree with you. That's what I'm trying to say. Yes. Oh God, the mad monasteries are talking about farming in the ocean and exploiting Greenland where the ice was. I know.
Ian said
Trisha.
pre-traumatic stress syndrome is what's happening here.
Oh yeah.
Actually, I think it's more climate grief.
There's a lot of climate grief. I think a lot of climate grief.
Well,
Definitely.
I'm gonna tell you how your stress is going.
Well, man, Hierophant, they're funny. Did you see what Hierophant said?
You want to know how your stress is going to go away?
How's that?
Well, we're all wondering what it's going to be like when this shit goes down. We're going to wonder how's it going to be because we don't know. But when it happens, your stress is going to go away because you're just going to be dealing with it.
Right?
Okay?
That's true. When I'm in the, and that's, I'm just telling you the way I know how I deal with emergencies, like with the horses, if a horse gets hurt
Right.
or something, I'm not stressing about it. I handle it. I'm in robotic mode. I do what I have to do. I mean, I've had to give a horse a shot in the neck and drug it and then pull a tooth out of its gum like a fucking dentist would. And I just did it because it had to be done. I was just handling the situation. When I'm in that kind of situation, I can handle it. But it's all the anxiety leading up to it that is so hard to take. It's like, I know it's coming.
And that's why everybody's here, because we have this anxiety. We're trying to talk about it.
Yeah.
So when it happens, you're going to be in the moment. And you're going to be okay.
Yes.
You're going to be all right.
I kind of agree with that. It's like, I know that, but I'll still be worried. I'll be anxious. But when I'm doing it, I don't. It'll be after I've done everything I can do that I'm going to be in a bad shape, if it makes any sense. Like everything, once I've done everything I possibly can do, and there's still a problem, like I've done everything, then that's when I'm going to be totally distraught. But right now I'm distraught because I'm trying to prep for that moment, and I don't know what's going to happen yet.
And the anxiety of that prepping.
Yes. And meanwhile, we're expected to live day-to-day life, going to work, and like nothing's going to happen. Well, we know fucking damn well something's going to happen. We're not gonna be living this way forever, and we're just living this pretend life, like supporting all the capitalists and the elites. We're just going to work, paying our bills, being good little fucking robo bots doing our jobs. And that's what stresses me out, just going through the day-to-day crap. That stresses me out a lot.
And me, you forgot, I stress you out.
Yes, you stress me out if you're on with me before I start a stream and I'm like, chill out. I've got this. Even though I don't have it half the time, but don't make it worse. I just snorted. That was funny. Okay. Oh, crap. Oh, Sandy's prepped for sleep. Good night, Sandy. We love you. Always.
Yeah, I gotta go. But
Yeah, I gotta go to
I
bed
don't
too.
stress about the impending collapse. I just don't.
You're so
know what?
lucky.
I
How
don't stress about
you
it.
don't have
Okay,
kids though,
great.
right? You don't have kids.
I have one.
Oh, you have one, and you don't stress about that one kid.
Maybe I just don't have feeling, Chris. I don't know. I just don't worry about shit I can't do anything about. I'm genuinely focused on my last 17 or so years. That's all I'm focused on. I mean,
You think you have that long?
well, potentially. I just try and learn, as much as I can because I get pleasure out of that. And
I like to learn about stuff, and that kind of takes the.
my wife,
This-
just things that make me happy. And I don't stress about this stuff. I just don't.
It's just like once I think I've got a handle on it, and I think I'm okay. Something else happens, and I'm like, it wakes me up again, and I'm like, oh, I'm not sure, if I'm prepared for this. I mean, and then I start thinking about my kids and what they might go through. So it wakes me up again, and I get woken up like over and over and over again. And it wears on me. I can't lie, it wears on me.
I was reading this book called Out something. I don't remember what it's called, but basically it was talking about climate change. It was written about in the late 1990s, and it's amazing how some of the stuff in there applies today, and yet the Earth has managed to, stay viable here. Who is it? About 20 years later. It just gives you an idea. That gives me the idea that it's so hard. The Earth is a very vast place. It's very hard to predict exactly how much time we have left. And so,
It is.
and just for that reason, I just don't, our fears are all real. I don't.
Well,
deny
they're
that.
definitely real. I mean, but
I just don't stress over it. I just don't. I don't have any anxieties about it. I don't know. Maybe I just don't have a feeling. I don't know.
sometimes I don't, though. Sometimes I'm really numb to it. But other times I really have a hard time. Anyway, I've got to get going, but Torstein is going to have probably a video right after this. So if you want to join, he'll probably have some kind of live event premiere type of thingy. So go ahead and join his thing.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and the chat's always good in that after this if people want to continue to converse. God, I loved having all you guys on. Thanks, Sandy. You have a good night. Anita, thanks for coming. Torstein, Aunt Tina, Asama, Hierophant. I will see you on Friday. Don't forget, I will be on tomorrow. 1 p.m. my time, 12 p.m. Oz's, and Kevin, Black Bear News. Yeah, I don't like using his last name because he doesn't like mixing stuff. Oh, Blake TV is still here. Okay, if you have a chance, check out Blake TV's channel. It's kind of fun. We were talking about the medical marijuana and stuff like that when I was on his chat, so it was pretty freaking cool. Thanks, Blake TV, for coming again. So anyway, Going South will probably have some kind of crazy video on right after this, promoting this show after mine ended. Okay. All right, good night, you guys.
Thanks,
Love
Damian.
love you all, and we will talk to y'all soon. See you.